Song Hye Kyo opens up about her true feelings for Song Joong and Lee Min-ho. After all these years. Before we step into this unforgettable moment in K-drama history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Because what you're about to hear is a story of love, loss, growth, and ultimate healing that has left fans in tears and the industry in awe. The interview that no one saw coming. It began on a quiet Sunday morning in Seoul. The air was crisp, the skies unusually clear, as if the universe was holding its breath for something rare. Song Hye Kyo, the beloved queen of Korean drama, had agreed to sit down for an exclusive, unfiltered interview with Korea's most trusted entertainment journalist, Kim Seo-jin. There were no scripts, no makeup team. Just her, seated in a sun-drenched hammock overlooking the Namsan skyline. And then she spoke. "I loved them differently." Hye Kyo breaks her silence. In her own words, Hye Kyo began. "It's time I said this not as an actress, but as a woman. I loved Song Joong with everything I had at that point in my life. He was my partner, my friend, and my mirror. We were passionate, intense, and full of dreams." She paused, her voice calm, her eyes steady. "But passion, when not grounded, can burn everything. We loved too fast, too hard. And when the silence between us grew louder than the laughter, we didn't know how to turn back." Seo-jin asked gently, "And Lee Min-ho?" Hye Kyo smiled, the kind of smile that holds both past pain and present peace. "Min-ho. He came when I was no longer searching. He didn't arrive with promises. He arrived with presence. He didn't try to fix me. He just stood by me. And sometimes that's all a person needs." The letter that changed everything. Midway through the interview, Hye Kyo reached into her purse and unfolded an old letter. She hesitated, then revealed. "This was written the night after the press announced Min-ho and I were dating. I never sent it. But I wrote it for Joong." The room went silent. "Dear Joong, I hope you're eating well and sleeping better. I didn't fall out of love with you. I just fell into love with myself. Finally. Thank you for teaching me both joy and heartbreak. You are my spring. He is my autumn. Both seasons changed me. And for that I'm grateful." Lee Min-ho reacts. A touching voice note revealed. Just hours after the interview aired, Lee Min-ho released a short voice note on his personal fan platform. "I didn't know she would share that. But I'm glad she did. Because the world deserves to see her heart, not the headlines. She's the strongest woman I've ever known. And she doesn't belong to the past. She belongs to herself now." Fans were brought to tears. Hashtags like #HealingQueen Hye Kyo and #MinHoForLife began trending worldwide. Song Joong breaks his silence in the most unexpected way. 2 days later, while promoting his upcoming film in Busan, Song Joong addressed the now-viral interview. He paused mid-conference, leaned into the mic and said, "We were both hurting and we didn't know how to heal each other. But watching her today, she's healed. And that makes me smile." It was brief. It was dignified. And it was deeply moving. Private moments, public reactions. Behind the scenes, insiders report that Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo took a break from media following the interview's release. They were spotted on Jeju Island, walking quietly near the coast, sharing headphones, and eating at a tiny noodle shop away from cameras. Locals say they looked peaceful. Real. Not stars. Just two people who had found each other after everything. An emotional fan letter that shook the internet. One fan's open letter to Hye Kyo gained over 1 million shares in 24 hours. It read, "Dear Hye Kyo, thank you for showing us that love can be reborn after it ends. That it's okay to love more than once. That it's okay to say, 'I moved on,' and still carry warmth for the one who came before. You've given us the courage to let go of shame and embrace healing." The world responds, and a new chapter begins. A nation reflects. The public reaction to Song Hye Kyo's raw, vulnerable interview went far beyond trending hashtags. Her words opened a dialogue across the nation, about relationships, healing, and the power of owning your story. Universities held open discussions on emotional resilience, featuring clips of her interview in media studies and psychology classes. Talk shows replayed the footage with expert panels analyzing her body language, her tone, and even her silent moments. One relationship therapist said on live TV, "What Song Hye Kyo did was not just confess. She gave permission for every woman and man who has loved and lost to finally speak their truth without fear." A secret visit from Song Joong Ki. In a surprising turn of events, exclusive reports leaked that Song Joong Ki made a discreet visit to a quiet art gallery in Seoul where Song Hye Kyo's personal photography exhibit was being held. The exhibit, titled Fractures and Light, featured black and white photographs taken by Hye Kyo herself during her silent years following her divorce. The images were haunting, poetic. Empty hallways, single chairs, sunlight pouring through broken windows. Witnesses say Joong Ki stood in front of a photo titled Unsent Letter for several minutes. That same photo is rumored to be the one she mentioned during the interview. He left without speaking to the press, but his presence was felt. And fans knew this was his way of saying goodbye. Lee Min-ho's unseen gesture. Meanwhile, Lee Min-ho, usually private and composed, made an unusually public move. At a fan meeting in Busan, he invited Hye Kyo onto the stage. The audience gasped as she appeared, radiant in a simple white dress. Min-ho turned to her and said, "In front of everyone, I want to say this. You don't have to heal alone anymore. We'll carry each other's burdens. Not to fix each other, but to stand stronger, together." The crowd erupted. Fans wept openly. This wasn't just romance. It was rebirth. A mysterious script, a new role. Following the emotional wave, news broke that Hye Kyo and Min-ho had signed on to star in a new drama together, one that had remained shelved for nearly 10 years. Titled Seasons of Us, the series tells the story of two lovers who meet in 3 different lifetimes, only to realize they've always been running from the one they were meant for. What made fans even more emotional? The scriptwriter is none other than Song Joong Ki's sister, Jo Eun-ji, a rising writer in the K-drama world. She reportedly offered the script to Hye Kyo as a symbolic gesture of peace and respect. The private journal excerpt goes viral. As the world buzzed with speculation and anticipation, a close friend of Song Hye Kyo, with her permission, released an excerpt from her personal journal on a closed platform. "I used to think loving twice was betrayal. Now I know it's bravery. The heart doesn't forget. Learns. Deepens. It remembers pain, but chooses joy again." That single paragraph was shared across social media more than 5 million times. Celebrities reposted it. Mental health advocates used it in awareness campaigns. Even BTS's RM posted it with the caption, "She spoke what millions of us are too afraid to feel." Song Joong Ki's next chapter. Not to be overshadowed, Song Joong Ki made a graceful return to the screen with a highly praised indie film, The Last Promise, in which he plays a man who lets go of the love of his life without resentment. Critics say the role mirrors his own emotional journey. In a press conference, he was asked, "Did this film help you heal from the past?" He replied simply, "It helped me celebrate it. Not all endings are failures. Some are just necessary turns." And when asked if he watched Hye Kyo's interview, he nodded. Yes, she was honest. And that's the version of her I will always remember. A surprise cameo. In the final scene of Seasons of Us, when the last episode aired, fans gasped. Song Joong Ki made a surprise cameo, playing the man who guides Hye Kyo's character back to Lee Min-ho's. He says only one line. "Go to him. This time don't run." The screen fades to white. The woman who taught the world to feel again. Years from now, people may remember the awards, the scandals, the glamorous red carpets. But what they'll never forget is the way Song Hye Kyo stood in front of the world and told the truth. Not for drama. Not for headlines. But for healing. And in doing so, she helped everyone watching remember that love isn't always one moment. Sometimes it's many moments, sewn together by tears, time, and the courage to begin again. Thank you for watching K-Drama Haven family. What part of this journey touched you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with anyone who needs to believe in love again.